Meetings have been going great, and people are loving them. They're just really enthusiastic about the fellowship. There's a lot of people that came to our first one and have never missed one since.
There are a lot of people on this call. This is so fascinating.
Dorothy Buckler, and I have 16 horses. I know that's too many, but what can you do?
I heard about you guys through a Facebook ad, and just thought it was an awesome thing. And I'm always trying to share more about God and what he's doing for me anyway, so it fits in perfectly.
I'm actually in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Victor Mathis, charter member, mentoring with horses out of East Tennessee.
And so we've talked about having a name choice contest. So maybe we will.
Yeah.
He is a licker. You see him licking me?
It's a cool shirt you're wearing.
Yeah, I know, isn't it? I just got it this week. I ride mostly English, some hunter jumpers, dressage, trail riding, basically reliving my childhood.
And I think in order for us to be made in the image of a spirit, John says, God is spirit. Those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
And this is worth double points. How many horses did Solomon have? If you're ever wondering, hey, did I actually do that? If you just scroll down, it'll give you sort of a feed, kind of like on Facebook, of every single thing that you've done.
She would like to boss them around. You're right. Here's the one that stopped the truck.
I heard about it on Facebook, and I'm really excited to just share the love of Jesus and the love of horses.
Ranch patterns and trail riding, and just really enjoying horses with some really good people. So
I've got to get my show points going. I've got to get with that. And I love your shirt, but we need an English rider.
Yes, I'm going to talk about that.
And this is my first time on with you guys, and I'm not a member. I'm just learning about your group. So
all right. Well, welcome.
I'm going to go. This is the neediest cat in the world.
It's the biggest cat in the world, unless you are a very tiny person.
Gotten away from God a little bit, and I'm glad to I've been looking at your association for a few weeks and decided, kind of join the meeting and see how it all was. And you guys are very welcoming, so it's awesome.
We're very glad to have you.
We're glad you're here.
I got to have a little praise report. My phone notifies me, and we just had a new notice come across the top of my phone that we have a new member has signed up for the Christian Horse Show Association. And that's a thrill every time that happens. This association is going and growing, and God's hand's upon it, and the anointing is building. I think these Zoom meetings are really adding to the fellowship. This is not just an unknown organization that you read about online. These are real people who love God and horses just like you do.
One of my favorite verses, and I'm actually going to share more than a couple, but one of my favorite verses is Job 12:7. Ask the animals and let them teach you. So this idea of animals being incredible teachers for us, if we will let them, which requires a little bit of humility. And then this idea too of what do we want to learn? Like, what is the most important thing that humans need to know in each moment? And that is that they're loved by God. So these horses that I love help me go from what I would call a global sort of I love horses when and I'm sure I have lots of friends here. I grew up loving horses. I can't tell you when I started loving horses. I think I started loving horses the first time I saw one. When I was 12, I was given a horse. We were living in Botswana. We had some friends who introduced my parents to Jesus. I was not interested in Jesus, but God allowed me to see his heart for me through that horse. So that's a little bit of my story. But this idea of what do I need to know in each moment? So Colossians 1:13, and I'm going to read more than just 13, but 13 through 20. For he, Father, rescued us from the domain of darkness and transferred us to the kingdom of his beloved Son, in whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. That word transferred, methistemi, which is the Greek, doesn't just mean like a transfer, like in a job transfer. It means transfer from one realm to the next. So the domain of darkness into the kingdom of light. All right, so he, Jesus, is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For by him all things were created, both in the heavens and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. He is also head of the body, the church, and he is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, so that he himself will come to have first place in everything. For it was the Father's good pleasure that all the fullness to dwell in him, and through him to reconcile all things to himself, having made peace through the blood of his cross. Through him, I say, whether things on earth or things in heaven. This idea of reconciliation, I don't have time to go into Genesis, but Genesis is the beginning of the story. And it's there that we lost our relationship with animals. We look at Adam having the privilege of naming all of the animals, which is a very intimate thing. So God allows me to not just know about these concepts of rescue, redemption, and reconciliation, but when I rescue a horse, I transfer him from the domain of darkness, and it's not a spiritual thing for my horse, but I don't just leave him where he was, to visit occasionally, which as a 12-year-old girl, I thought when I received Jesus that that's what had happened. I thought Jesus had come into my life to make my life better. But in fact, he transferred me from the domain. All right, so I'll use Scooter as an example. Transferred Scooter from this guy into my life. It's a done deal. I did it. Jesus rescued me. It's a done deal. He did it. Redeemed me with his blood. I paid $500 for Scooter. If I gave Scooter $500 in cash, he would not know what to do with it. It's completely outside of his economy. It was something that I did on his behalf for him. I didn't see Jesus's blood shed for me. It was a transaction that occurred for me outside of my comprehension. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. And then once I've brought Scooter into my domain, now I have this problem of reconciliation. And there are actually two problems with reconciliation, because part of the powerfulness of this picture is this law of predator and prey, which prevents my horse from wanting to be with me. This law of predator and prey is such an amazing analogy for the law of sin and death. And I think both of those natural laws came into being as a result of mankind eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So reconciliation is about me initiating relationship with an animal that doesn't speak any human language. I need to learn how to speak horse. I need to come to my horse in a way that he can comprehend and receive. And that's what Jesus did. He came to planet Earth to speak man to us, because we had forgotten the language of love. We couldn't comprehend it. So he came and he identified with us so that we could identify with him, in him, and not just be rescued from hell, but to experience his abundant life in each and every moment. And that's what I want for my horses. It's not a spiritual thing for horses. I think if we look at Genesis on day 6, we see God creating all of creation. And then on day 6, he creates the creeping things. He creates livestock. I think horses are livestock. And he creates the wild beast. And I think the wild beasts became the predators. So that's the setup for the predator-prey dynamic. And then after he's created everything, then he says, let us create man in our image. And I think in order for us to be made in the image of a spirit, John says, God is spirit. Those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. In order to be made in the image of a spirit, man was a spirit who had a soul and lived in a body. And that spiritual aspect is what sets us apart from the rest of creation. So it's not a spiritual thing for my horse, but I do believe horses have a soul. If you define the soul as that unseen place where the mind, will, and emotions live. And certainly anyone who's worked with horses know they have plenty of emotions. They have a mind of their own and a lot of will. So my desire is to bring my horse into an understanding of who he is now that he belongs to love, that he's been rescued. And I can't explain it to him. This is why the discipleship piece is so exciting to me. A lot of the folks who come here, you can't explain this. They have to experience. I think about the Apostle Paul, one of the greatest theologians on the planet. Before he encountered Jesus face to face, he was still a theologian. He knew a lot about God, but he had no relationship. He had no reconciliation. There is just something so powerful about being able to share this picture of rescue, redemption, and reconciliation with somebody, with my sweet little red horse that I love, that is undeniable. I have a little presentation I would love to share. I know some of you guys have already seen it because I've been watching my classroom. Victor, I know you saw this today, and I don't want to show the whole thing, but I would love to show, it's just a little video clip of the day that I started Scooter in the round pen. This thing we call breaking a horse. This was about 24 years ago. So my hair was short and I was a lot younger looking. But it's just an amazing analogy and picture. So if I can share my screen, I'll let you guys see this. And it's a little grainy because we filmed it with a VHS. That tells you how old it was. But I think
not a Betamax.
I don't know. I'm old. My memory's gone. All right, let me try to share because I'm also tech stupid. Okay, the whole screen. Share.
I think it's working.
Yay. All right, I'm going to move this little thing. Oh, I can't. Can I move that?
We can see it fine. If you want to just hit play, we can all see it.
All right.
Rescued him. This took place in October of 2001, so you can see the resolution isn't great, but I hope that you'll be able to still see the point of this metaphor. God has used the round pen and this sweet little red horse that I love to show me so many things about himself. But today, I just want to share a couple. So the round pen has come to be a picture for me of time. Time is a container that God uses to reveal himself to me. He's not bound in time. I'm using this round pen to reveal myself to Scooter. And what I want Scooter to understand is that I am the source of safety, that this law of predator and prey has been broken by me. And as a result of that, he is free to find his primary need met in me. Horses find their source of safety.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Katy Pistole here from Beautiful Brokenness. I'm so excited that you...
Let's find our spot. Oh no. All right.
Is this on YouTube?
It is. It's a technical glitch. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Can you throw the YouTube link in the chat so folks
can. And also, yes.
When we're watching it, the video doesn't keep up with, like, the video is very jumpy. So it's smooth to you, but it's very jumpy to us. But I mean, you're more than welcome to kind of talk through that process. Yeah.
Yep.
And please throw the YouTube link in the chat.
Okay. I will do my best. I may have to wait a second.
Yep. Or you can do it anytime. You can do it at the end.
After
so just go ahead and continue presentation.
Well, so in this day, this most amazing thing happened. So Scooter was acting very frightened because that's what horses do when they're frightened. And in this round pen, I know you guys all know this, but I'll just say it. Horses have no understanding that they're running in a circle. They're biological. Their brain does not allow them to understand that they're going in a circle. They just know that they're running. And he's unable to get rid of me. And the way that horses establish leadership with each other is by who can move the other one's feet. And so in his perception, it's such a cool picture of omnipresence, because in his perception, I'm not moving my feet very much, but I'm staying with him. So eventually he gets to a place where he's tired, and his flesh pattern, so my definition of a flesh pattern is something that I'm trying apart from Jesus to get my needs met. Scooter's flesh pattern is to try to get his safety needs met apart from me, and it's not working. And eventually he says, all right, I'm tired. I'm going to try something else. He comes to the end of himself. So we have this verse in Romans 8. Everyone loves Romans 8:28, right? We know that in all things God works. But there's a verse before that that says, for the creation, this is Romans 8:20, the creation was subjected to futility, not of its own will, but the will of the one who subjected it, in the hope that the creation itself would be freed from its bondage to decay and come to know the glory of the sons and daughters of God. So I want Scooter, I want to actually encourage him to come to this moment of futility. And God allows us to come to this moment where we go, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. And he says, good, because you weren't created to operate that way anyhow. So come on, tired person, and I'll give you rest. In the video, well, actually, you know what? I'll just give you guys the link. I won't tell you what happens because it's pretty amazing. And it's not something.
Katie, do you want me to try to find it for you?
It's okay. It's all right. I'll just put it up on, I'll put the link, but thank you, sweetie.
Okay.
So Victor saw it, so he knows, but something amazing happened that day that was such a picture for me of futility. So I will encourage you guys to watch it.
Yep, we'll post it on the page as well.
So the way brokenness is beautiful is until my horse is convinced that I have broken this law of predator and prey, there's really no opportunity for compliance or anything but compliance. Obedience and compliance are not the same. Obedience is a heart's response to love. Compliance is a heart's response to fear. And that is what I used to think God wanted.
That's really good.
Was compliance. Yeah, but he's asking for my obedience. The way brokenness is beautiful is that Jesus has broken the law of sin and death. And until I come to this place where I believe this, it's very difficult, impossible really, for me to trust him and to experience the kind of intimacy that I was made for. I was made to be filled with his life. That's what we were all made for. And to me, this incredible picture of a frightened horse who's trying his best to get his own needs met with no success whatsoever is such a picture of a tired, hurting world. And it resonates with even people who aren't believers. So he transferred me from the domain of darkness into the kingdom of his beloved Son. And that, to me, is the essence of discipleship, is helping people know what it means, not just to be rescued, redeemed, but then this last piece, this reconciliation piece. So that's what we love to do here. And I just find scripture full of reconciliation.
That is awesome. Horses are spiritual. Horses are very spiritual. You know, when Jesus comes back, it's not on a motorcycle. He's on a horse.
Yep.
And I think there's a very spiritual concept to that. So, yep, you miss Louisa. She's got her shirt on. So what I'd like to do now is thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you for coming. And what we'd like to do now is just kind of open it up for questions. So if anybody has a question for Miss Katy, just feel free to unmute and ask it. And we'll just there's a, you know, I don't think we're going to step on each other. So you can raise your hand or just ask a question. Who's got questions? Mr. Victor?
I have a couple. So Katie, I did watch it from the Kajabi platform for that. So it looks like you're just beginning to build that. So I look forward to what will come. So I appreciate it there. Yes, it was very interesting. What I'm wondering at this point, because I was curious beginning to look there to see what kind of resources, that's part of what interested me about your book, Equine Assisted Discipleship. I read Lynn Baber's book.
On discipleship.
Before too. So in wanting to bring the passion for horses and the passion for the Lord, evangelism together, and you're familiar with, I'm sure, Todd Pierce and his Riding High ministry and so forth, but I'm not going to go into a round pen with a unknown horse and do what he does. What he does is an amazing gift. But what I have a vision for what I could do would be to enter a round pen or a small arena, interact with a horse, with spectators, and maybe a 30 to 40 minute presentation that is a combination of on lead and at liberty to be able to present the gospel in that way. And so I'm getting to the question part of just like, is that something with the ministry and the resources you have and what you've done in the past where there are piece parts? It's like, okay, I can take like your book and Lynn's, and over the next few months with a lot of prayer and guidance from the Lord, and I'll try and come up with, put together a program or a message and then rehearse it with my horses? Or is there some resource or set of resources that, I mean, the Lord's led you to scriptures and to tie them into, I mean, the rescue, redemption, reconciliation in scriptures that tie into the horse and so forth. So you have maybe already been led down a path doing a lot of the heavy lifting, the legwork, and I'd rather not reinvent the wheel any more than necessary. So that's kind of my question is there some way that you're in a position and willing and able to help jumpstart someone like myself in being able to put together like a Jesus and Horses presentation that we can offer to the community? Folks come in to share the gospel that way, because I don't have the talent for Roman riding and all that Dave does either.
So, Victor, thank you. I am about to release, it's called Foundations 101, and it's a 6-week course with an introduction really to including horses into discipleship. So the first week is a lot of theology, sort of the scriptural foundation for us as humans to understand why this is so powerful. And then hands-on, how do we incorporate these horses into a really powerful picture? So I hope you'll join us. This is the second iteration of the course. The first one I started last year. We had 58 students from around the globe. I feel like this second batch, or the second, they really helped me with a lot of feedback. So the second iteration is going to be even better. And then, so I hope you'll join me, and I'll put a link to that also. Actually, you signed up for the Brokenness Transformation, so you will get an automatic invitation to check that out in the next couple of days. Yeah, but thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
very
good.
Cool. Anybody else have any questions for Miss Katy? I think Samson might have a question.
Yes, he might. I think he's thinking big. Hey, I'd like to turn my phone here, and you guys can see his head's in the way. The guys are here working. They're working on this side of the barn now, and one of those just got saved a few minutes ago. Isn't that great?
That is awesome. Does anybody else have a question for Miss Katy?
Well, I hope you'll all go to beautifulbrokenness.org and check out some of the resources. And because we have some.
Yes, I will post that link in the thing. Miss Marcia has a question.
Yeah. Are you going to be posting the way to get to find her website information and all that?
Absolutely. I will share it on the I'll share it in chat right now, and I'll also share it on our CHSA Facebook page.
Okay, thank you.
Let me ask a follow-up, Katy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Katy, just a quick follow-up. So
Sure.
with that Foundations 101, is that something in weeks or months, your second round? What kind of timeline are you?
So yeah, it's 6 weeks. It's a 6-week course. So it'll have 5 videos per week, 2 horse assignments per week, and then 5 journaling entries per week. And
Let
then
me ask it again. How soon before? How long
oh,
before you?
I'm
you'll
launching.
offer it again?
Sorry, launching July 1st.
That's like next week.
Yeah, next Tuesday. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, good timing.
Yes,
And please,
indeed.
please share us please share me the information on that so we can post it on our page as well.
Yep. I sure will.
Be happy to do that. Anybody? Okay, Marcia had a question. Anybody else have a question for Miss Katy? Speak now, or we're moving on to trivia. All righty. We are going to move on. Thank you again,
thank
Miss
you.
Katy, and that was awesome. We look forward to these every single week, and we are so blessed to have you. And thank you for your service in not only ministering to God's creation, but also ministering to God's people.
Thank you.
So that is a very awesome thing.
I thank God for giving me a dream to keep me living right, to give my life a purpose so I can fight the good fight. Trying to be the best that I can keeps me on the right track. Now that I know that I've chosen the right way, I could never want to turn back. Now that I know that I've chosen the right way, I could never want to turn back. Jesus, I could never want to turn back.